Hi, today is day 74 in my art journals. And yeah, I really love this process. It's been great. Getting inside my journal has been wonderful. I've enjoyed every moment of it, and it's gotten me so creative. I can't wait to start working on big projects again. And I will be doing that. However, I won't be videoing that probably until I'm done with the journal process, just because I video with my Google phone and it is a little bit of a hassle to set up and try to get right and then get creative while I'm trying to video. So that's always a challenge for me. Plus, talking and doing stuff is usually pretty hard too. So anyway, this was a page I had started with my Sharpies, and then I realized that the Gelly Roll, my Sharpie, was like an indigo blue, and it dried up on me. So I couldn't finish the doodles, but I did find my Gelly Roll. So the colors were pretty close. So I finished all of the doodling, well, not doodling, but the line work with my Gelly Roll. Then I came in and I have a pen I've had for a while. Here it is. It is a Deco Color premium made in Japan also. I think Japan makes the best art supplies. And this one's an oil-based opaque metallic marker, and it's copper. And I think it is so beautiful. So I came in with some copper and just added some copper lines. I don't know if it's done or not, but it was done enough for me. And I enjoyed the process. And I really, really enjoyed using my Gelly Roll to do the line work on this. It just was great. So this is another one I have been working on. I had this and it was just the black. Then I had, all these were just white. So I took my Artistro watercolors and decided to do like a little gradient. And I thought I would go from the yellow to the darker orange and see how that looked. And I think it looks kind of, I don't know, it gives me like a 60s hippie-ish vibe. I'm not really sure why, but I enjoy it. I have to say, again, I am not a watercolorist. However, these are really vibrant. These are really, really pigmented colors. I know that because they are staining the tip of my water brush, and you could see, you know, a little bit. This used to be white, and I haven't really used it that much, but the little bit I have used has been staining on here from the pigment, which I think is just great. I mean, most of it washes off, but there it is leaving a little bit of staining, which does tell me that they're really strong pigments. And I love the colors. I mean, they're just bright and they're pretty, and you could see a little bit of gray in here that had nothing to do with the paints. It was something else I was trying first. So some of the marks that may be underneath the paint, like right here, has absolutely nothing to do with the paint. It was marks I had made beforehand. I was trying something a little shading differently and didn't like how that was turning out, so I went over it with the watercolor, and the watercolor for the most part covered it up. But it's beautiful. It leaves great little marks. I love the texture of it. It's beautiful too when you put down color and then just take a rag or a paper towel and mop it up some, and it leaves great texture too. I don't know, I'm really enjoying them. I never thought I would enjoy watercolors so much. And like I said, it's a very inexpensive set. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 50 colors in this set, and I think it was around $12. I mean, really, it was nothing concerning for a watercolor set. And I love it. I will definitely keep using it. So with going with a hippie-ish 60s vibe, I kind of thought of flowers, and I thought flowers would be kind of cool to do. Since I enjoyed using the Gelly Roll, that indigo blue one, I'm not sure what the color actually is on this. It doesn't say just has the number of it, but I decided to use the black and see if I could enjoy it the same way. So I thought I would do some really just simple, easy, fill in the space kind of flowers, and nothing technical whatsoever. And the one thing I want to say is that I really love watching other creators create. I enjoy it so much. However, sometimes the other creators have, have more expensive supplies. And I think it really gives a sense of FOMO, like, oh my gosh, well, if I had supplies like that, my work would look like theirs does, which isn't true. I mean, your work looks the way it works by showing up every day and doing something. And practice is what creates it. Plus, we all have our own styles. I mean, we can't look like somebody else and still be original, because that definitely would not be original for ourselves. So I think watching creators is great, but then when I start seeing these super cool supplies, I found myself doing it today with these little stencils by Joggles. I saw Denise Love was doing, I love watching her. She is just absolutely amazing. She's so much fun when it comes to mixed media and things you can do. And she's got a great YouTube channel. And she was working with taking a large piece of paper and sectioning it off into small squares, and then painting all of them. And she was using she had gotten some Joggles, I think they're called itty bitty stencils. They had sent them to her. They're like ATC size, I guess. And they had sent them to her to try out, and just so cool. I mean, these little stencils are amazing. They're so nice for small projects. They're beautiful. And so I found myself out on Joggles' website looking at these cute little stencils, and they have a great pack. It's, I don't know, maybe 10 stencils for $60, $50. I'm not sure. No, I think it's 12 for around $60. But anyway, that's like the whole set that they have. But I don't have money for stencils. And do I need stencils? No, I have some stencils. So I have stencils I don't use, and I haven't been using. So until, it's something I absolutely need, it's not something I need to go get. But I had to remind myself that, it's like, wait a minute, I don't have stencil money today. And why am I out here looking and putting stuff in a cart when I know I can't afford this? Even if to buy one stencil at $5, which is definitely worth it. They make excellent products. They really do. But then you've got your shipping on top of it. And it just, it adds up. And who wants just one? I mean, there's a bunch to choose from. I think I had picked out like 5. And so the total was around $25, which wasn't much for most people. But right now, $25 is a lot for me. We had an electrical issue at the house. We've had, just kind of seems like we've had one thing after another coming up, and the money goes out faster than it even comes in. And I've got other bills that I have to get paid off first before I think about even buying any supplies. So that's why I like to see what I can create with really inexpensive supplies. So if it's something that, you want to try out watercolor, or, instead of having to go and get a super expensive set of watercolors, like the Kuritakis is on my wish list, because those are just absolutely gorgeous. But those aren't going to happen for me either. But this Artisto set works great. It's kind of like use what you have, use what you can get your hands on, even if it's kids' supplies from, school stuff. We can really create with anything, with a pen and a piece of paper. You could take a black pen and a blue pen that you have in your house and start doodling with that and see where that leads you. There's all kinds of ways that we can get creative with inexpensive supplies. And I want to try out inexpensive supplies and find out, what works. Jelly roll pens, if you're just going to buy, one or two, they're great. Just buy a couple colors that you like. I had a set of metallics and I have a set of sparkles. The sparkly ones I'll definitely give to my granddaughter because I think she'll like those, and they're sparkly, but they really don't work for what I use them for. But she would have fun coloring with them. And so those, I've got earmarked for her, and I might even give her some of the metallics because honestly, I don't really know that I'll use them ever. But there's a couple cute colors, and just because there's something that I wouldn't work with certainly doesn't mean somebody else won't. And that's the other thing, can you pass this stuff on? Do you have someone that you can give stuff to that maybe you have that you're not using? It's not going to do us any good to have stuff sitting in drawers that we don't pull out and use. Like my stencils, I want to get busy doing some more mixed media work. Oops, kind of messed up that little flower. I want to get busy doing some more mixed media work so that I can pull out my stencils and use them and do some really cool layering and just have fun, and just do some awesome little abstracts. Because that's really, that is my absolute joy, and I love doing that. So, like I said, talking and trying to doodle a certain pattern doesn't always work well for me. It's sort of like my mom always said I couldn't chew gum and walk upstairs at the same time, and she was probably right. But we all have our abilities and our talents, right? I can, though, however, paint. I can paint and talk at the same time. That's not a problem. Just trying to do, a little line work, and especially because I know that my hands shake a lot, and that makes me kind of self-conscious about my lines because they're usually pretty wonky, and that, it makes me nervous, so I think about it. So then I grip the pen a little tighter, and I already have a really heavy hand. So that's not always good. And then I start trying to think while I'm talking, and I start really overthinking stuff. So I have a question. First off, I want to say thank you so much to people who have subscribed. I was just blown away. I thought I was only making these for myself and my family members who were, going to watch it and give me support, which I really appreciate. But then I saw I had like 36 subscribers, and I thought, honestly, 36 people came to see what I was doing. I mean, that just really shocked me. So thank you very, very much. And for the people who did subscribe, like I said, I cannot thank you enough. That really made me feel good. And if you want to see me start doing some mixed media now, I'd be more than happy to. I mean, if you're willing to watch it, I'm willing to do it. That's for sure. This was just mainly my challenge to myself to get out of my own head and start getting creative again. And it's really worked out great. I mean, I found things that I don't think that I would normally have ever used, like jelly roll pens or the little set of watercolors. I do have other art supplies that are not here with me right now that I really miss, like all my Derwent Inktense pencils and pens and paints. I just love those. I've got lots of acrylic paints that aren't here. And I do have other watercolor sets that I've used. Prima Marketing, I have Winsor Newton, gosh, I don't even remember, Daniel Smith. But those are from a long time ago, and I haven't used them for a long time, and always used in my mixed media because I do like to mix things up. It's really cool to put down like watercolor and then do some stenciling with gold or white or Posca pens or acrylic paint on top. It just comes out so cool looking and just blends together beautifully. So that's something else I'd like to do. But if you want to see me do some art, I'm fine with that. You know, if you want to see it, I will certainly do it because I enjoy it, and I'm gotten so far into this challenge that I'm really looking at some empty canvases I have and some paper and going, wow, I truly want to start making stuff because it's just calling loudly. The other thing I want to say is the Bristol paper, like the Bristol that I'm working on right now, holds watercolor paint really well. It's a mixed media paper, but it's super smooth. And I know that watercolor paper is, the hot pressed will be smooth, but the cold pressed is a little more rough. I believe that's how it works. But the smoothness of this Bristol is great because if you're using pens or, you know, anything like that, it's just super easy to draw on, which is nice. You know, I was thinking, I wonder if this bronze pen, since it is sitting right here next to me, would look cool in the middle of these flowers. One way to find out, right? Let's see. It is such a gorgeous color. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but it really is just beautiful. It has a very strong odor though, so you might want to watch that, especially if you're around kids. I definitely wouldn't use this around anybody who gets irritated by scents, by smells. This is definitely a very strong oil pen, but it is pretty, isn't it? Whew. But it's strong, and we already have a ton of smoke in the air from fires that are about 2 counties away, but for whatever, they're west of us, and the wind is blowing from the west this way, and we're just getting all the smoke from it. So it's been affecting my voice a lot. Anyway, let's see, that's about it for today. Like I said, it's day 74. I am 3/4 of the way done. That's just amazing to me. It just doesn't even seem like it's been that long. So thank you very much for tuning in if you made it this far, and I really appreciate the subscribers who subscribed. I think that's awesome, and you know, maybe I will continue doing these videos and doing just regular art and seeing where that goes, because I'd love to be sharing what I'm doing. It's all simple, it's all easy, anyone can do it, and you don't need expensive stuff. And when you watch other people, yeah, they're using expensive things a lot of times, but a lot of times they get those to try. They get those so that they can demo those on their channels. They have the income to get them, and there's multiple reasons. So don't feel like you have to rush out and get things that you absolutely do not need, because you don't. Use what you have, enjoy it, and find a way to make it work, and it honestly will. There's really not a whole lot you need. You can even do like I did here and fold some paper over, sew it together, and you have a journal. So there you go. Have a great day, make it creative, and let me know if you want to see any other types of artwork. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.